Right. Livestream 109. And lockdown livestream number 5 or 6. I've got a strongbow keeping me company. And today there's, I suppose, a bit of a legend on the bench table. So as I turn a USB 5 times to try and get it into the port. Yeah, so 790 Lanparty, DDR2, 940 Black Edition Phenom, and it's a Team Cup stage. So let's actually straight away look at that, because I also need to remind myself what's even going on. By the way, safe disk. Beating out Shire. What's making the difference here between these two guys? 6G at lower RAM, 4667, and 5.95 at 4800. Okay. Where's the stage? How's everyone doing? I stopped counting the weeks. I don't know if that's a positive thing or a negative thing, but I legitimately no longer know how many weeks I've been in lockdown. Okay, so Team Cup, it's under this is confusing. Let's go into the main page, shall we? Let's go in there. It's under memory. And DDR2. There are actually no results up, so that's good. Hey, Hyper Barbecue. So I should really put this in my bot, but I would need a URL shortener for that. So the rules are DDR2 RAM only, socket AM2 2+ only. So the socket is determined by the CPU. That means by far the fastest chip that can be run is the 940 Black Edition, which is the unlocked. It's just the unlocked chip DNEP, so it does full pot. So clearly that's the fastest. Hey, Doug Greger, how are you doing? So what's actually the fastest score so far? Actually, we're not, so we need CPU Z, CPU, memory, and SPD, and the official background. Nice. I've been better. Yeah, still locked down after 8 or 9 weeks. Feels like months. Okay, and the first stick I've got in there, I'll show you some of the sticks. There's a lot, but I think I'm gonna go with the Dominators first. I have no idea. I'm just gonna be blind binning these. Where is our high class Dominator? So I think this might be an okay one, version 1.2, 2. It's harder than I thought to get it. There we go. 2.2 volts. I think that might be the next stick that I try. Still locked down. Yeah. Well, there was a new record in number of cases, so the lockdown is not really helping. I mean, I should be careful about these kind of statements. The lockdown is not helping enough. I think it would be dangerous to say that the lockdown isn't helping at all. But yeah, it's not helping enough. And vaccination rates are going up, but not up enough. And they only just announced vaccination down to 12 years of age. So yeah, it's going to take some time. Let's first see if we can boot an OS. Was a little bit late setting up. Apologies for that. Yeah, so oh God, what's wrong with this SATA? There we go. Great post screen there. So this is what's on the Sydney Reddit right now. We're closed from 28th of June, at least 1 week. That is how long the lockdown has gone on for. So tomorrow it's going to be 28th of August, so it'll be 2 months. And it's going to last until at least the end of September, so that's 3 months. Is it? I mean, I'm safe in a sense. I mean, I'm just bored and missing my freedoms, as I would say in America. Okay, how do I... So it's not detecting that hard drive, actually, from what I can tell. Yeah, it should be in there somewhere, so... Something a bit fishy with this cable, but I was using it last stream, so I'm hesitant to say that the issues with the cable. Okay, let me get a different one. Here we go, a fresh new Gigabyte baby blue SATA cable. Yeah, US is crazy. US are approaching 7,000 dead now, 700,000 dead now. Australia has 1,000. We're about to reach that sad milestone in a couple of weeks. God, what's up with these SATA little tower thingies? Okay, let's try that. Formula One, nice. So Friday would mean it's the like training part. I haven't watched Formula One in like 15 years, but I think it's okay. Now we have an SSD, so now let's let it boot cleanly. It's been years. Practice 1, yes, and then there's like practice 2 tomorrow, and qualifying on Saturday and race on Sunday. Let's see if this will boot. So the idea with this stage is you have to. There's two scores per team, and I'm on OCN, Overclock.net. So you have to have different memory kits. So I think if I was allowed to just use my best kit, I would probably just do that. I have some ballistics that are pretty decent. Let me get those out. There's more. So there's all of this RAM, and then there's this. So there's some OCZ. So Dark Gregor, these sticks I got from Bulk, BOLC, and those are, I think, my best sticks. Then I have some lame single-sided stuff as well, but it has to be. It's just not allowed to be. Hey Shmomo, you're down and sitting pretty down in Tassie, right? Got too much DDR2 Dominator. I don't think those are usually good, but if anyone has any DDR2 tips, I'll gladly take them. But this triple, it's not a real triple kit, but this set of 3 sticks is intriguing me. I might try that next because it's Guile. Maybe you can just about make that out. 1 gigabyte, 1066 CL5. 2.2 to 2.4 volts. That might just be a kit that's really bad. Okay, so we have mouse, we have keyboard. What I should first do is download CPU-Z 1.97. So for those who don't know, there's been a few releases of CPU-Z recently. So there was 1.96, 1.96.1, and then 1.97. And I don't want to, because these competitions go on for so long, I don't want to run any risks of running a CPU-Z that's too old. So let's get 1.97 as a zip. What the fuck? And I think I flashed this. This is the board I flashed. It took me a long time, but I was able to finally flash this because there's no USB based flashing and there's no in-OS flashing. So I had to actually build like a FreeDOS or some crap, because the previous BIOS I had on here was like a 2007 or 2008 BIOS and it wouldn't allow newer chips. I think I'm all good now. Okay, so we have an OS. I need the comp background as well. Yeah, so Tasmania, also known as the part of Australia that maps always forget. Actually, they're so right to not fuck around with COVID, because the level of hospital beds available and stuff that's really low. So any outbreak would be pretty bad pretty quickly. How do I save this damn image? All right. So the CPUs I have in here, I might do some IMC binning when it gets closer to the end of this comp, but I don't anticipate doing that today. I'll just, I'll just run through some sticks. Yeah, it's really like Groundhog Day. I mean, I on the one hand, we shouldn't complain too much because, I mean, we're lucky, right? I mean, every day, like the vast majority of people on this stream are like part of the 1%, maybe even the 1% of the 1%. Like as soon as you're in a Western country, that means you're like one of the richest people in the world and one of the safest and most healthy. And then Australia is like, even, at least in terms of COVID, is like a level above that, because there's even fewer cases and there's even fewer deaths in Australia than like in Europe or the US. So shouldn't complain too much. But yes, from my very privileged position of being a resident of Australia, it still sucks to be locked down for 3 months straight. And I just need to attach my chiller because I forgot about that. I don't want my loop getting warm. Might have to reboot to get the mass storage recognized. Yeah, typically anything, so 512 megabytes and 1 gigabyte sticks can be quite good sticks for benching purposes on DDR2. 2 gigabyte and 4 gigabyte, forget about it. Pretty much impossible for those to clock as well as the other densities. Yeah, I'll just give it a reboot, or is it gonna find it? CL5 DOMs, are they 1 gigabyte? I probably, whichever CL5 DOMs you have, I have, because I have a version 1.2, another version 1.2, another version 1.2, another version 1.2, a version 4.1, another 1.2, and I think there's, oh, another 1.2. So the one in the system right now is 1.5. So I have 1.2, 1.5, and 4.1. I think that's a good, that's a good chunk of stuff. What Shmomo, what DDR2 system do you actually have to run this in? Version 3.1. There is this famous archive.org link where you can check which IC the RAM is. All right. Corsair, where's Corsair? So it's 8500 is 1066, right? Yes. So let's actually check here. 8500 version 1.2 5555 at 2.2 volts is supposed to be D9, and D9 is the good stuff. So and it's got to be at 2.2 volts because some of them are rated lower. So this is really interesting. I don't know if this is like a misprint type thing or if these are literally different ICs. But here you've got the two different, my God. The two different, you see that? They're both 55515. They're both 1066. They're both version 1.2, but one is at 2.2 volts and one is without a voltage rating printed on the label. So, and you also have that extra text, the XMS blah 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 text. So I'm guessing this stick, the bottom stick, may not be D9, whereas the top stick will be. Let's see if I have any more that are like that. No, most of them are rated 2.2. I have two sticks that are that dodgy printing, and then I have 4 sticks that are correct. But I have version 4.1 as well, which isn't even listed. So those are probably garbage sticks. And the stick I have in the system is 1.5, so that's probably a crap stick. You want the OG Rex. That's a DDR3 board though. Am I doing the DDR4 comp? If you mean the DDR4 aspect of this Team Cup comp, maybe. It's Y Cruncher. If you mean the Corsair, then no, because that involves buying Corsair RAM. Where is it? This Corsair OEC Open. I know a lot of people are taking part in that. I know Bob and Zed, for example. But no, I don't. I can really only focus on on one comp at a time, and even that is going to be tight because you see this timer at the side here, 34 days left. As things stand, I won't be out of lockdown in time for the end of this comp, so I won't have LN2. Now for a DDR2 comp, yeah, well, you're going to be missing CPU clocks. I just showed Corsair RAM, yes, but I believe the competition is DDR4 open, so yes. Anyway. Now let's go and install our new CPU-Z. How is that European summer, by the way? Please, I'm locked down in early spring in Australia. Tell me all your stories about 30-degree days in Europe. I want to hear. I want to vicariously experience what you're experiencing. Damn it, because I'm unable. Ooh, is there a click problem? Oops. Let's make sure that flashy new 1.97 really opens up on the system. And then we're also going to set the background, the flashy background. Sometimes it does that. This OS is a bit buggy, but it's fast, so I can live with it. Ooh, it's reading the outside slot as slot 3. That's very interesting. Single rank. Is that reading wrong? Let me look at a stick from. Yeah, okay, so that's definitely going to be a bad stick because it's single rank 1 GB, so that's no good. No lockdown in France. That's good. I hope you're able to enjoy the summer, Gregor. So single rank, yeah, okay, and 2.1 volts, not ideal. CL6, nice. Okay, let's get that comp background. And reboot. So here's all my notes for this chip, for this board, because it's quite involved. Let's actually look at the current scores. What's the fastest score? 1737, Mr. Scott, of course. A nice little 4 gigahertz ambient score. Okay, so this is the sort of thing we'll be aiming for. Maybe not today, but you know, as a final score. Come on. All right, let's do it like this. Bingo, boingo. Right. Always dual. Okay, so here's some DDR2 basics. eBay. What's that? Oh. Sean Nathan, thanks for the sub. Very much appreciated. And yeah, welcome to the stream and all that. Gigabyte industrial dual bias socket. What? Okay, yeah, that's a fake listing. Okay, so here's some DDR2 basics. We will always be unganged because it's not a locked chip. You only use gang mode for locked chips, whether it's DDR2 or DDR3. Generally, at least on AMD, CAS5 or CAS4 with flat timings, and then similar to DDR, like similar to BDI, basically, RASN or TRC go higher, obviously, than the other timings. And then always, I mean, never say always, but pretty much always 2T command rate. Ooh, UD4P. I have that board. I would have thought Mr. Scott has a LAN party. 1.55 volts. Okay. So yeah, those listings that have artificially inflated prices, very often, I don't want to say very often, but more often than you might realize, they're actually money laundering. So basically, both sides of the auction know each other. The seller puts up an insane price for buy it now, and the buyer knows the seller and buys it. But then the goods don't exchange hands, and they just transfer the money, and that's how you money launder. You can pretend it was you buying a motherboard on eBay. It's more real motivation to promote the holidays of the French in order to return money to the state coffers. How does I'm just not following, how does the money go into the state coffers? Third injection, yes. Unfortunately for Pfizer, especially, it seems like a third injection is required. But that's life. So let's go. So it's under Genie. If you're not familiar with LAN parties, usually all the overclocking rated stuff is under Genie. Let's go timing mode manual. And let's just try 1066. And then, ooh, 2.2 volts. Let's do 2.3. What's the max? Holy, okay. Minus 200 millivolts for vid. I'm not sure about that. That's weird. Something going on there. Where's the 0 option? There we go. Let's try that. Stuck on C1 straight away. Maybe I should attach a clear CMOS button. Very useful to buy these on eBay. Yeah, 3.2. Well, on DDR1, I ran 4 volts memory voltage. I should probably show you that sub. Where is it? as I drop the jumper pin. That's right. So it's got a. This is a good start. All right. I think I just generally need to reseat the stick after the fan flew off it. C1. There we go. Okay. Nice little clear CMOS. Now how can I get the fan on there without having it fall off again? Okay. Manual timing. Second strap from the top. Enable. And let's go 2 point. Stick was rated at 2.1, so let's actually go 2.1 and see what happens. If only there was a quicker way to check what it really applied. Current value 800. Okay, let's try the high strap one more time at 2.1. Okay, let's let that boot into the OS, and then we can check how high auto timers will go. The benching part will be interesting because on what was the last thing I did 32M on? FM2, right? That was 2 weeks ago. I ran 8M and that was already slow. On this system, to check sticks against each other, I think I'll be running like 2M, which I don't think I've ever run 2M in my entire life, but maybe by accident once. But I think that's the only thing that's going to be fast enough. All right. Don't know what this unknown device is, but I think 3/8 is the memory strap that we're looking out for. 3/8. Okay, that's actually not entirely, completely, and utterly terrible. This guy's running 562. We're on 533. What's his BCLK though? 210. Okay, so he's basically just 10 BCLK up on this. We can just hit the reset button. I thought this was a terrible stick, and it's, you know, it's actually running sort of like SPD values. So if you're unfamiliar, these are the ways you have bias profiles on this board, which is one of the sort of, I mean, LAN parties in general were some of the earliest boards to have profiles. Bank description, TC2021. Oh, that's right. That's how we clear the description. And then there we go. Okay, so we're on the top strap. Let's just disable that crap. It's good. Disable this. Okay. Just make sure that posts. This is probably further than I've gotten on this board sometimes. Okay. So we resave to this bank. And now we pump the host clock until it stops posting. The X48 Rampage formula. What chip? It's what do you mean? You need Wolfdale in there. Okay, let's actually, if this posts, let's actually throw in a boot and make sure it's not trying the most ridiculous settings. Clock chip. Hold on. I have notes. I have notes. Oh. Weird that I didn't. I think it's the same clock chip as the Rampage Extreme. Oh yeah. Pretty sure that's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Try that. Try that. I'm pretty sure that's it. I can't check now. My Rampage formula actually died. But if I remember right, it was Rampage Extreme, Rampage 2 Extreme, and Rampage Formula all had the same clock gen, and that's the Rampage Extreme clock gen. So should be good. I mean, this thing's clocking. Maybe we need to temper our expectations a little bit and look at an actual full out score. Maybe this guy, maybe it's just some sort of like placeholder or something. Where's 32M? So the number one 32M score on cold with this chip is this Raven score, and it's really, really good. But it just claims, why am I at 140%? It claims 669 with no valid screenshot. I mean, just a screenshot that's disappeared over the ages. So in terms of a nice run. This is a nice run. 560, 44444 on cold. But I mean, a random stick 577. I want to go higher because it's even loose timings. It's useful to find the top. The other thing, of course, is maybe single channel binning is just not valid on this platform. Who knows? But it's valid to. It's useful information to find the max megahertz at loose timings, because IMCs do vary as well. So it'll be, you know, if this does like 620 or something and another stick doesn't do 620, then that's already useful information. On I think on Extreme Systems or Overclock.net, there's a clock gen like master thread anyway. Okay, so 220 is no go. Let's clear our CMOS. And see if we can get a run out at 215. Or the other thing would be 220 at 2.2 volts maybe. Let's get a run out. It bugs me to no end that so many motherboards don't default to numlock on. Is it going to hang? Nope. Yeah, mobile standoffs unscrewing with the screw. Tell me about it. That's happened a lot. I've even bought motherboard plus CPU plus cooler combos that still had the motherboard screws and standoffs in there. Hoss00312, thanks for the follow. And welcome to the stream. I've had all sorts of weird stuff, like whole systems just chucked in a box with basically nothing to stop them from dying, but still somehow surviving. It was, yeah, interesting. Ooh, K10 stat works for this, doesn't it? That could be very useful. I mean, I sell a lot of stuff used, and the questions you get about the condition of a CPU or whatever, it's like an LGA CPU. It really doesn't matter what it looks like. If you put it in the socket and it powers on, I mean, within reason, but you know, this is getting up there. .2 on the chip. Yes, K10 stat does work. Okay, no, we need, I think we can get a 4G run out, but we just need like a good like 1.5 volts or something. For 2M 4G, I think 1.5 volts will probably do. Cling, yeah, cling wrap. So is there hardware monitoring here? Yes, PC health status. So 1.35, so I want to add 150 millivolts. Maybe 175. Okay, if that detects in CPU Z and we can still use K10 stat, that's really nice. That's almost as good as having full in OS overclocking. You gonna turn back on again, or? Maybe it's on the edge at 5. At 210, 215, I mean. Yeah, doesn't seem to like that. Okay, let's load our bank. Stick to 210 and give enough volts for a 4G run. Maybe even save that. Tech tested, we're only getting started, don't worry. Yeah, so cling wrap, I'm not the biggest. What is with vid setting not working? I don't really get it. Is there some sort of OC, like some sort of weird overcurrent protection going on here or something? Like I'm not really anal about all that like anti-static business. I think stuff can more or less die at any time. I think shock, like physical shock, is much more important to guard against. Like there's all sorts of horror stories of graphics cards getting a bit of physical shock during shipping and dying. Even I think with RAM it can happen. It's, hold on. Okay, so loaded from the bank. Let's go back to auto here. Make sure the 210 is going to post. And then maybe we have to fiddle a bit with the vid stuff. Just make sure our temps are okay. I mean, the chiller's on, the pump's on. CPU is showing 15 degrees, so let's go slow. Let's go 75. Okay, it's liking 75. That might already be enough, but let's check. Wow, this downcoring. Let's do that. That's new in this BIOS. Wow, this new BIOS is great. It's got North Bridge support, downcoring support, all the modern conveniences. No, today I'm binning RAM, so this is all the DDR2 RAM that I have. So just because you joined late, here's the competition that I'm taking part in, and RAM bidding is going to be really important. I already have a good cold CPU, so I don't really have to bin through CPUs as such. I bought an extra CPU, but the AliExpress seller canceled my order, so then I put in another order with a different seller, but I'm not sure it's going to arrive in time for the end of this competition, which is ending in 35 days or something. So plus 75 is good. Plus 125. I don't really get it. What's with the weird shutdowns? Yeah, DDR2 is pretty tricky. I mean, I think it's still not as hard as DDR1. But yeah, it's definitely tricky compared to DDR3 and 4. Let's go back to 215. The other thing we can do is let's go with that. Maybe the auto multi was screwing it with us a bit. So we've got plus 75. It's giving us 1.4. Still have 15 core temp. Okay, let's try to flat out just boot plus 100. Auto boost system. I even wonder what that even means. I mean, with the down core and the 100 millivolts, we might have enough to pass 2M at 4G, which would be nice, because then we literally just have to play with RAM and CPU Northbridge. I'm open to suggestions, by the way, for next week's stream. For the first time, I mean, this I ran a poll 2 weeks ago where this was the second place finisher. No, the down core didn't stick. But the vid is okay, so we'll see. It's awful close. So with like one more BCLK, we'll have an even 4 gigahertz. So let's see if we can down core. Let's see if we can go 1 BCLK up, and then it'll just be how we like it. Yeah, GTX 260s I have a lot. So plus 1 here. And dual. So I keep a reasonably up-to-date spreadsheet type thing with all my GPUs broken down by manufacturer. Where's NVIDIA 200 series? This is what I have for 200 series. So as you might know, there's the 192 shader and the 216 shader. So I have two 192 shader working. These are tested working. I threw a lot out. I actually used to have more. So I have 6 GTX 260s in total. But where it gets really interesting is I have quite a few 275s and some X world record GTX 275s. I keep going back to this talking about this card, but it really bears repeating, I think. Damn it. So the 275 I bought from Dino was the 3 Mark 01 world record one. I think it's this one. I mean, it's obviously not a world record anymore, but not the Lightning. I guess this one. It's Lightning as well. This might be it. Yeah, this might be it. No repick. This is back in the day when 2600Ks ruled. All right, so we have our memory and we have our vid applied. The down core isn't working though. So fit of 21. Yes, 3995. That's very nice. And okay, it didn't want to run that. Try SLI. That's not for the faint-hearted. You have to actually hack your Windows 7 to run with the SLI drivers, unless you want to run on a really slow platform. Okay, let's try 25 millivolts at a time. So what have I not run in a while? Oop. I mean, realistically, it's going to be 2D because I'm not doing much benching these days, but we're doing like, it should be Intel, maybe like LGA, maybe Ivy actually. My OCS died. Crosshair Maximum 5 Extreme. Okay, we're booted up. Got a little bit more volts. That might be nice. Oh yes, the down core applied this time. And let's do our affinity as well. So affinity on the second core. The GTX 260 only has 3-way. It has 2 bridge attachments. So I think it only does 3-way. 4-way started being a thing with the GTX 400 series. So the big 4-way rigs started being a thing with the GTX 480s. So if you look at something like 4-way 480s and all on liquid nitrogen in something like 3 Mark 11, maybe. Yeah, okay, maybe Vantage. Where's the big score? Something like, I mean, Cookie. It's a good example. 980X 4-way. There you go. This is when 4-way became a thing. Pity it's a bit low quality. So that was 2010. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep upping until we get an issue. Live in Yakutsk. I mean, the obvious next step would be to check if we can run at like 3.5 gigahertz. Otherwise, the RAM is not up for it. Hi, Kicks. You were here for the DDR3 binning stream. Now we're here. You're here for the DDR2 binning stream. I can promise you that next week there will not be a DDR1 binning stream. I think plus 25 was possible. Thank God. FX 9590. Yeah, we had a Country Cup stage, dual SLI, FX, 3 Mark 11 stage. That was quite something. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's chip or RAM at the moment. I mean, what does a just looking for ambient scores. So let's say water custom. Yeah, 4.2 through 32M. Actually, just have a quick look at it. But 1.55, yeah, so we're really having issues with setting vid, which is a shame. But let's go 3.5 and that should be safe. Fid of like 18 or something. To be ultra safe, let's go, yeah, 3.5. Go on the same core. It wouldn't surprise me if it's RAM. Oof. See, this core unlocking is not working the best. I mean, I know it's a slow platform, but I would imagine we are running real time, so let's give it a little bit of time. But oh, so it is core. That is genuinely quite surprising. I mean, it's not going to work, but ooh, maybe some of the middle settings are just fucked. Okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe just some weird issue there. Hopefully it's not going to shut down now. While that boots, I'm going to get another strongbow. Be right back. What did I miss? All right. Cheers to all those who are now in Friday night, and all those who aren't, commiserations for having to still work or go to college or whatever. So we've got our juices flowing. Was it 21 fit, I think. Oof. Working an hour. Sorry to hear that. Well, the flip side of all this is my weekend will be over like half a day earlier than yours, so it all balances out in the end. Let's try 10 times for the North Bridge. Okay, there's something weird going on with the V-core. So I'm just gonna have to stay lower on the core clock, which is a shame. I think we'll just stay at the safe 75. It's weird. It's just weird. I can't really figure it out, but North Bridge must be greater than or equal to. Okay. HT. So like 1 gigahertz and 10x North Bridge should be fair enough. So the US Open tennis is starting on Monday. Who's excited? Nadal, Federer, Serena, and Venus are out, so can't really get too excited. Okay, let's just make sure that our North Bridge trains up the way we expect it to, because it's a LAN party board after all. You can never be too sure about what it's going to do. AM2. Well, the 940 Black Edition doesn't work in an AM3 board, so that's easy. In general, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to overclock a DDR3 capable chip in a DDR2 board. Okay, so that trained fine. Let's just get a run out. I guess we can do 3.8. Nine seconds. Maybe Affinity is screwing with it. Let's try no Affinity, no real time. Yeah, okay. So I still have the hope that I'm going to be running this on LN2. So LN2 is a completely different beast for these 940 chips. It's 32M, so yes, it's by default that's already very heavily memory dependent. But also with these chips, whatever frequencies, memory frequencies your memory controller can run on ambient temperatures, it's not going to be able to run those on full pot. So it's it's important to, I suppose, first find the right kit, so you know what the kit can do on ambient, and then use that kit. Well, that's the first aspect. The second aspect is also I have to use a different kit to my teammate, so that this competition stage is 2 different scores from the same team by 2 different users using 2 different memory kits. So I've got a lot of this ballistic stuff, crucial ballistics, but more than likely I will not be able to use ballistics because the other person will be using ballistics. So I'm going to try and find an OCZ or a Dominator or a G-Skill kit or something that will be good enough to basically max out my IMC. This is quite nice. So 49 seconds isn't that bad. Maybe I should go with maybe is 4M a good, maybe 4M is a good medium length thing. And I already have, the other aspect is I already have chips that do well. The fuck. Something has changed about Google. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't do the right thing anymore to find HarborBot. So I have a chip, I already have a chip that does 6.2 on LN2. .24 even, but not valid. And it's on this board. It's nice. What else goes? Oh, I did a 1M. 8th worldwide. So this is the sort of thing you expect. 4 gigahertz on-core scales with cold, and then CL4. Funnily enough, the 1:2 strap. Okay, we're almost done now. Next step will be seeing if we can go flat 5s. And then maybe, you know, reel in, well, let's save this first. Yeah, let's max our on-core first. You said the same thing about DDR3. This is the competition. This is the platform for the competition. What is the point? Like, you know, if you're going to test a tire and you're testing it with a view to running it on a Volkswagen Beetle, what's the point in putting it on a Ferrari? Test it on the platform that you use for the stage. That's my method anyway. I mean, everyone else can do whatever they want. I don't really care. I mean, I don't even like this. There is, I mean, this is the fastest AMD DDR2 platform, like by a country mile. Phenom first gen is laughable compared to second gen Phenom, which is what this is. So I could try to bin on Intel. I don't really know. So the only serious DDR2 platform that exists on the Intel side really is LGA 775. I absolutely fucking hate LGA 775. So that already puts it at a disadvantage. It doesn't matter if it's technically a better binning platform. If I don't enjoy binning on it, then that means I'm never going to do it. So what's better? Bidding on a suboptimal platform and getting it done, or like making a plan to bid on a platform that's better but you hate and you never actually do it. Anyway, I don't know anything about these sticks. Like, you're right, you know, if I find a good stick, or maybe even a good kit, then, and there's like 2 kits that are really close, then maybe I can bin those on LJ775. But I mean, I have a Gigabyte P45 DDR2 board. That's also not ideal, right? So that's my other option, essentially. So we had 17.5 multi. Come on, CPZ. It's gonna load. It loaded, but it errored out. Let's try again. Yeah, 17.5 multi. So we're 1 multiplier higher. We just need to open up K10 stat. It will be saved anyway, but it's good to confirm. Yes, there's your 17.5 multi. And I think 4 seconds for the first loop. That's close CPU set. Okay, 1 point something. I think 775 is an interesting platform because it's new enough that enough people, enough like gaming users or even benchers have some kind of familiarity with it, but it's actually I think, I don't know, a brutally hard platform to run. Like, I still don't really understand it. I ran for Country Cup last year. I ran Math Bench on that platform, and that was okay because I didn't have to tune RAM, and you just sort of find the cold bug, play around with some minor voltages to see if you can get the cold bug lower, and then just, you know, check what the end of the vCore scaling is. But for anything more complicated than that, it's rough. It's such a rough platform to run. And that's the only thing on the Intel side. I mean, there's DDR2 PGA478, I guess, but you can't tell me that's a better bidding platform than AM2 Plus. No way. Where was our Math Bench? Yes. So I ran. Oh well, I ended up. Yeah, that's right. I was pre-testing chips, but in the end, the final score I put, of course, did AMD. But I was around for these scores, these other scores like the Xeon score. Yeah. 1 minute 53 versus 1 minute 57. So 4. Yeah. So we still have scaling. Time to hit the timings. 1.98 V core. Just a chill little 1.98 V core. See, single channel, 1200 CL5. 5 CAS. Okay, so pre-charge we want 5 as well. RAS to CAS 5. Let's, I guess we force 2T out of paste. Buy someone Ali. Let's just keep saving. So you're are you setting up the Rampage formula? RAS is 24 right now. Let's try 15 or whatever the lowest is. And then bank cycle time, which is TRC obviously, 24. Let's try that. Have you got some Wolfdale? I think I'm almost at the point where I can let this dim go and put a better dim in. An hour and 30 minutes in, but that's okay. It's all learning. This fan is working quite nicely. Let's make sure that our timing is really trained up the way we expect. Beautiful. That should fly now. That should really fly. Make sure we set the same. These sticks aren't terrible. I should really be using a binning OS that doesn't have these weird quirks that this Parika Barry OS has. Close, please. Woo. Okay, so 3779, got our encore. 4M. We want 1 point something, yes. Okay, duos on a quad. Quad can be challenging to bench on. Quad is, I mean, people have gotten it running, but in general, quad is easier to bench on P45 chipset. So yeah, I would say duos are the way to go. You're gonna get higher core, higher FSB, higher everything. Not that I know anything about LGA 775. It's probably my least favorite platform. So I think, yeah, I've done a lot of DDR3 recently, but I think maybe checking my IV. So I have, what do I have in terms of valid 6.2, which is very average, but I don't have a cold 32M, but I have like a low clock challenge entry. Don't have a mount. Well, quads are, that was the first generation of quads, so you don't want to mess with those. So I'm 95th, so yeah, I'm right behind a 5.3 gigahertz person. So I beat Old Scar for top 5G result for 3570K. So what's a fun bench? Ooh, is that slower? Somehow? Oh, it's, well, considering the North Bridge, it's not very much faster. I'm not trying to get a fast score though, I'm trying to see what the sticks can do, so it's just run to run variation. Maybe also the core disabling, maybe. With those same timings, let's see if we can go higher. We want to keep the same CPU core roughly though. So 3779 divided by 17, we'd want 222. I mean, it's not going to work, but I should have lowered the North bridge as well. 01, C1. Okay, that's not working. Clear. Yeah, maybe lower the North bridge, 1 multi. Maybe even 2. No, let's go with 1 multi first. And is our timing? That didn't save at all, did it? So we want 24 on RC, 5 here, 5 there, auto, and TRAS was save that profile, lower the North bridge, try to go to 222. The magic 222. I went back to 7. What's that about? We want 15 RAS. It keeps like loading the It's like it's detecting a different SPD every time it boots up. It's sort of weird. Let's do that and save over it again. Hopefully the SPD is the same. Shmomo, what bench are you gonna do? Just max valid? Different postcode, but still not doing it, I don't think. Okay, I get it. Let's clear the CMOS again. Yeah, this might be it's probably an IMC limitation. So on Intel, you might know that, you can kind of go up to like 1400 RAM and stuff. Here, 1400 RAM is like the max valid that's ever been done, by the way. Let's look that up because it's my record. Hopefully still. Max memory frequency on socket. Socket we'll leave out, but memory DDR2. And I guess just going AM3 is okay. So here I am, 1456. What VDIM did I use? 2.6 VDIM on this exact board. This was November 2020. And just for completeness, AM2 plus 712, someone's done. All right, so load. That's worked fine. It's fucked up the SPD again. Might have to keep the timings on manual or on auto rather. And actually, let's try auto 222. At 2.2 still, and if that doesn't work, we'll try auto 2.3. Ooh, it does work, or it's looking like it's gonna work. No, that's a late hang. We'll try the same at 2.3, let's say. I don't necessarily want to kill a stick for no reason. Auto 222 at 2.3 flat. Not sure yet, never really chased after RAM specific benches. GPU bencher. What's your favorite GPU to bench? That 4E postcode is coming up a lot. Let's see if a retry helps. Maybe you can just about get into bias and give it another 200 millivolts. Otherwise, not the worst stick in the world, I have to say, even though it's single-sided. Okay. I'll go up to 2.4. If that doesn't post, I'll go back down to 2.2 and try CL4. Maybe even like 455 or something like that. I thought I'd clear the bias. Apparently not. 580. Oh, I have a lot of GTX 580s, volt modded ones. Gigabyte SoCs, a couple of Lightnings as well. Ooh, that's a very slow post. Direct CU. I gave away my direct CU. Let's go back to our GPU stock. I'm loving this, the scaling on this stick. 500 series. So I have a 570 regular, 570 sock. Oh, I do have one working direct CU. I've got a Lightning, a sock, another sock. Oh, I sold these 590s. Okay, this is interesting now. I wonder to what degree it will tighten up. Maybe. Oh, I didn't freaking. I forgot something there. I applied volts, but no hyperthreading. No BCLK. Well, that got my hopes up for no reason. I changed this adjust gap crap. No, it's gonna hang on 4E again. Okay. Quick attempt at CL4. So we stay at this. Let's give it like 2.3, but manual timings. The naming on these is a bit confusing. I keep having to refer back to a screenshot, but we want CL4 pre-charge. I mean, can I auto that? and 444 auto 24. Maybe even auto on this. I don't know about that. Yeah, it's hanging on C1. Okay, I don't think we necessarily have to spend any more time on the stake. Mm, 555. And I think it was 2.1 volts, wasn't it? Okay. Time for the next stake. And it's gonna be not a crop stick, but a version 2.1. Can we mark it somehow? Okay, I put a little 1 there. So it's 2.2 volts, version 2.1, or version 1.2. Dominator 1066 C5 2.2 volts ver 1.2. Stick 1. I think that describes it fairly. CF. C1, that's looking better. 350 watts, yeah. This maybe is dead stick. That bottom clasp on the RAM slot, it's a bit finicky. No. Let's consider that dead for now. Where's our next dominator? 2.2 volts. We have a level 2 on there. Okay, that somehow needed an extra CMOS clear, so I might go back to the other stick later, but let us quite literally load up the same profile. And just have to be careful to have 2.2 on there. I think I did the other one at 2.2 anyway, because that's the profile I've got here. Auto should be pretty tight as it is, but let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, guys. I think that the profiles are just buggy. Sometimes you're trying to apply too much in one go. Anyway, it's not a magical profile. It's literally just 2.2 on the RAM, 216, and then 10x on the. Make sure the ratio is nice and low. Couldn't quite off. Timing on manual. Top RAM strap. 2.2 on the RAM. Lucky these posts. Sometimes the SPD voltage required for DDR2 is so high, like 2.2, 2.3, whatever, that it won't even post without first putting a different stick in. 216 here, HT link, 1 gigahertz. I think that's it. I mean, I disabled some onboard devices as well, but let's do it. I need like a massage or something. Too much sitting at a desk working from home. But yeah, those services still are available because it's considered to be healthcare. But do you really want to go get touched by a stranger in the middle of an outbreak? Maybe that's exactly what I need. Okay, slot 3, right? Ooh, 1.8 is the JDoc on this. So this is a dual rank. So this, all things being equal, should actually run faster. It's doing the same. Okay, let's actually do a like for like comparison. So if we do 555, let's first of all save this. We want about 75 here, and we do want 11 here, and manual here, force 2T, CASO 5. I keep freaking forgetting this. Whatever is on 7 should be 5. This, whatever the lowest you can set, and then TRC to be conservative at 24. That's it. I mean, it's only 4M, but with enough runs, we should see the difference between single rank and dual rank. It's sad too because, you know, Australia is such a wide open place. It's such great driving and cycling and all that to be had, and it's pretty much all illegal at this point. which sucks big time. Enabled 5. I feel like I need to reboot anyway to get like the proper timings in here. That's what it feels like. Yeah, we want a 16 min and then 5 and 5. 3 5s and then 24 here. And 11 on the north bridge. Bench the 580s. Yeah, it's nice and cool down there in Tassie. Warm up your room with some 580s. Hi, Michael. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. We are doing some DDR2 binning for Team Cup 2021. Okay, so we've got our flat 5s. We've got our encore quite high, actually. We have got an extra rank and should have kept that open. Let's apply our P state. Which sounds kind of dirty, but I assure you it's not. No, crashed. C490i Ultra likes Rev E more. Maybe I shouldn't be downcoring. Don't know how that affects the speed, but let's just get a 1 or 2 runs out. Yeah, look, there's so many different ICs now in DDR4. I think it's quite hard for the memory manufacturers to keep up. I don't blame them for not having absolutely everything optimized at all times. Come on, OS, let's boot. Okay, we've got our encore, we've got our RAM. Let us set our CPU core to the magic number and then run off a 4M. Did I apply the vCore? I didn't check. I should have looked at CPZ. We're gonna have to do our little dance again. I don't think that's actually going to apply. That's weird. Even like it reads 3 in the timing menu. Now it's back. Maybe it's the North Bridge that's freaking out a bit, but let's see. I can give the chiller a little bit more as well. Since I'm in lockdown, I'm spending quite a bit of time on Reddit, and someone said that Rogue One was an overrated Star Wars movie, and I said, yeah, maybe, but it's the best Star Wars movie of the last 15 years, so we'll take it. The fan base will take it. And someone else replied to that, hard disagree. It's pretty bad, and the only Star Wars movies worse than it are Attack of the Clones and The Rise of Skywalker. No. Solo, Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 7, Episode 8, and Episode 9. 6 Star Wars movies worse than it. Not that I anticipate Bob the Tomato 67 to be on this stream, but just in case he or she is, or they, it's, you know, whatever, they is the safe way. Yeah, okay, I think too much Northbridge. Reddit. Yeah, like I have 4800 megahertz DJR kit. But I mean, have you used those kits in other systems? Loose as in auto timings, or loose as in a certain set of timings that you're familiar with? Because auto timings on one board are different than auto timings on another board. So Apex 11, so I'm guessing what's Apex 11? That's Z390. That's a different IMC as well, right? Let's do it. No, the higher encore did work. Okay, I'm getting suspicious, guys. I'm getting suspicious. 1.408. Okay, this kit just naturally needs more RAM voltage, which is fair enough. It's rated for 100 millivolts more, so I'll allow it 100 millivolts more. 5/16, that's good. Yeah. But auto on that board might just be tighter than on another board. Okay, so oof. It's a pretty solid post screen, but it's still not as good as the post screen we had a few weeks ago. How do I go into my clips? Clips, here we go. Guess that's the wrong clip. Huh. Anyway. Can't find it now. 2.4. I don't really get it. Yeah, it could certainly be bias. Okay, I'm giving this stick one more full clear of the bias, and afterwards I'm just gonna put it in the too hard pile, basically. Okay, stable, cool and quiet, manual timing mode, top strap, 216, HT link, not running wild, 11 on CPU North Bridge. .4 on the RAM. Don't do anything timing wise yet. Post that. Okay, maybe leave the voltages alone. Go top strap and manual and reboot, and then apply everything else, and then do timings, and then boot into OS and see what happens. These LAN parties, so much fun. Anyone in chat been to an actual LAN party, by the way? Like, you know, meeting in person and playing computer games? Five friends. The blue cap. That's the only SATA cables I use. Gotta show you a forum post. Okay. I'm gonna just make this very like dumb. No, it went too far. Let's try and save that. Manual. So these are the last 2 times I sold. This is a lot of SATA cables I sold because they keep coming with motherboards and I only ever need 1 cable basically and 1 backup. And then that was 2019. And recently I sold this lot of SATA cables. I mean, I sold it for the price of shipping. So there must be like close to 100 SATA cables I sold. And I still have, 4 or 5 blue. And then if I really needed one for benching, I could get it out of the streaming rig as well. Okay, so let's do 1 gigahertz and 11. And then save that. Apply 2.3. Save that. Post. Okay, I said I'd save it. Apply. I'm working very hard with this stick to get close to what the other stick did, like pretty naturally. Okay, enable 2T. 16 RAS. 5 pre-charge. 5 RAS to CAS. 5 CAS. And 24 TRC. Beautiful. So LAN parties. I think I went to 6 or 7 of them in high school. Just to give you an idea of the age of game that we played. And this was proper LAN parties, like actual TCP/IP, Ethernet, hub, LAN partying, not like where, this type of LAN party that sometimes happens now where you all congregate in the same area, but then you all have to sign into your Battle.net account or like Steam anyway to be able to play because the games are so locked down now. But this was actual LAN gaming of Age of Empires 2, Quake 3 Arena a little bit, Quake 4 a little bit, Battlefield 1942, Age of Empires 3. I'm not sure what else. So the only thing is my CPU vid is quite low, but it's at stock actually. And I haven't applied bus. God damn it. But it was fun. We had a 13-hour game of Age of Empires once. That was a bit excessive. Oh, Warcraft 3 as well. Unreal Tournament 2004, I think. Okay, I'm going to... So just BCLK apply gave me trouble there. The CPU multiplier I think was applied fine. So it might be struggling with the same CPU Northbridge now. Hopefully I can reload this profile and go down to 200. And down to 10x. See, that then ends up buttery smooth, so I think it just might be on the edge for Northbridge. Ugh, I didn't want to apply. Okay. Okay, let's do a post. Let's do a run at 3.8. Okay. No, I think it's the stick. I think there is something wrong with the stick. Let's pick out something completely different. .2 to 2.4. Let's do it. Looks single-sided though. I don't know, looks can be deceiving sometimes, so let's not give up hope just yet. Okay, should have marked it actually. Guile 1066, C5 still, isn't it? .2 to 2.4 volts. And let's honor that by giving it 2.4 volts. It's posting. Okay, every CPU Z load results in an error, which is a bit of a problem, but maybe memory tab. I have older versions of CPU Z, maybe they'll still work. Interesting. Very interesting. So we've booted straight in with the stuff that the other, like straight after swapping the DIMM, we're doing better than the other. It's a single rank though. All right, I better set a shortcut to the old CPU Z. And apply my CPU clock. Smooth. Yeah, let's see if we can give it that extra 100 millivolt or so and see if that gets rid of what we're seeing here. Let's check what everyone else is running. So where's our SPD here? That's interesting. Maybe single rank 1 GB is not so bad because let's have a look at my bad stick. Yeah, okay, I'll have to look into that more. That's very interesting. FF? What are the big guys running? They won't have SPD tabs though. God damn it. Why is everything so difficult? Now, what about... I mean, in a stage like this, I trust the Ukrainians to put up a decent score. Ooh, maybe I can just copy my own teammate. Oh no, it's Yos. Dual rank, 2 GB, 400 C5. Okay, that wasn't even trying. Keeps hanging. Okay. Let's allow another 100 millivolts. What's 100 millivolts between friends? White balance was off all stream long. Anyway, you'll forgive me, hopefully. Okay, so why does it keep saving 214? I'm getting very suspicious of this CMOS Reloaded business. Let's give it a gentle push on the CPU, and then we should be good to go. It really doesn't like to apply voltages, does it? I hope I don't have to reflash this bias to get a competitive score out of it. I hope so. Okay. I think the part of the issue might be loading a bias and then straight away changing things. I think you have to load, apply, post, re-enter bias, and then make gentle changes. Yeah, okay. I'm starting to understand what's going on. Okay, load, apply. And then make sure you don't miss delete. And then give it the extra 2 BSLK on its own. Wow, Witty Wix just okay, let's go to that once we're booting. Let's go 2.4. It does it. Weirdo board. I'm starting to understand this bias, but I still don't know. Maybe I should just be going on to another bias off stream. Okay, so load, apply, then maybe he just doesn't want 2.5, like 2.45. Is that really going to make a difference? I think I should apply this, then save it, then maybe that will get the point across. Okay, 2.46. Is Guy leaving on here? Let's grab another stick. 8,500. CL5. Might be Elpida, right? C50C. GB, GX. Where's GX? PDC. Yeah. That's the bin. Maybe it's just really bad D9. Okay, let's let this load. It's been a while since we've been in OOS. Let's not fuck it up. Famous last words, I know. It should eventually load. It just it sometimes randomly hangs and other times doesn't randomly hang, and I don't really know what makes the difference, to be honest. There we go. That all looks very nice. Okay, it just straight up. Okay, so it straight up needs a little bit of core. Let's go back to our faithful 75. But it's almost like there's some sort of combined OCP of the RAM and the V-core rails. Okay. I mean, all we're really trying to run is freaking 4M. I just thought of a new custom command to make for the Nightbot. All right, we have booted. Yeah, that's better. So that's the log of me all the lockdown movies I've watched. It's been a lot. And I'm working on getting 1,000 films reviewed. Anyway, that's good. Back to overclocking. So we've got our higher V-core. That might just be enough. Are we gonna get a run out? Almost seems impossible. Yes, 1.3. Okay, let's try for less encore. See what happens. because it gave me the same at 2.4, and just that early in the run seems a bit, I don't know. Like it's not the RAM. War movies. Best war movie of the last while was 1917 for sure. Let's go by rating. By highest first. This is probably going to be really controversial, but anyway. So war movies. Lives of Others, it's not really a war movie, but 1917. Last King of Scotland is kind of a war movie. I mean, there's conflict going on. Lawrence of Arabia certainly has got elements of war in it. That's for sure. Okay, let's get a failed run out before we keep talking about movies. Are we going to pass? It's even worse. T34. What about Das Boot? If you're talking about a movie in German, surely Das Boot has got to be in the conversation. Yeah, it's sometimes hard for me to remember this sort of stuff, but okay, that's not working. Yeah, I don't think the stick is really doing all that much. What's a good stick to go with next? HyperX. Yeah, how about a bit of just for variety, a bit of HyperX. 2.2 volts. Is it a 2 GB stick? Not sure. How does Kingston fare? So it's an 8500 GN. So it would be Micron. Okay, let's try that. You haven't seen Das Boot. There's two different cuts of it. There's the theatrical cut and there's the miniseries cut. I don't know what the availability is like. I think it tends to be mostly available in the theatrical cut, which is a shame. Because I think the miniseries is a bit longer. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Come on. It's not posting, so let's try the second stick of the same kit. Yeah, it's a slow burn. It's a 3.5 hour movie if you watch the theatrical cut. So these sticks are 2.2. So let's try 2.3. All right, let's apply and then go straight down to 2.3. Okay. This is the last stick I'm trying. I want to find. I thought I put a really crap stick in at the beginning, and it actually gave me the best results. Okay, so new profile, enable 2.3, 75 on the CPU, and just post it straight away. Override the profile straight away. And then go top strap, cool and quiet off, North Bridge 11, CPU 8, issue link 1 gigahertz, 216 on the RAM. See how that goes. And then save, and then manual timings and reboot and get the timings in, and then Bob's your uncle, as they say. I'll come back to the war movies though once I have a run going, which, let's face it, maybe never, but you know. I mean, it just depends on how you define the genre. Like, if you know, does a movie that's set during war, like Casablanca, count? Because I rate Casablanca really, really highly. But if you really just want a movie that basically contains people who are at war, so it's basically about armies, you know, it's literally about armies fighting each other, then that narrows it down a bit. Bullshit, Che, I don't rate highly at all. Black Hawk Down I have to watch again. I haven't watched since it came out. American Sniper I don't rate. Braveheart isn't a war movie. Thin Red Line, yeah, that's a pretty decent. It's a slow, like a very sort of artsy kind of war movie, but I like it. Life is Beautiful, again, not a war movie. It's about concentration camps. It's different. Fury I haven't watched. Why is my internet so slow? So that actually posted and booted and stuff, so that's something. Now let's try and get a run out. Is it gonna load? Yes, it's loading. Magnificent. So let's check the SPD of this. Geo rank. Okay. Could be a candidate. Okay, let's let that run in the background. It's slow, but mother. I don't think North Bridge was even applied, was it? It's applied. Let's try 2.4. Haven't heard of this movie. Haven't heard of this movie. Haven't heard of this. Dr. Zhivago I still need to watch, but that's still not, from what I've heard, not a great war movie. Not really a war movie. English Patient is so overrated. One of the worst, best Oscar winners of all time. Catch-22 I've heard is good. Haven't heard of this. That's not a war movie in my opinion. That's like more like a drama type thing. Haven't heard of this. Really want to watch this. Heard a lot of good things about this. Haven't heard of this. This is shot really close to where I grew up in Ireland, actually. Very slow, like Irish resistant type movie. I remember it being bad, but I was a kid, so maybe I'd appreciate it more now. Can we please just get a run out? System, can you please just let me win? This is going to be one of those slow runs. Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that as long as the next run is a... No, why am I doing 8M? 4M, god damn it. Of course. Where Eagles Dare, haven't watched it. Lebanon, MASH, haven't watched it. 4th of July, I surprisingly haven't watched that either. Gallipoli, I haven't watched. I'm not a big fan of these, you know, these First World War movies. Except 1917. Good Morning Vietnam is solid. Platoon is solid. Downfall is good. Again, not really a war movie, but it's good, like a good drama. Hacksaw, I've heard good things about. I haven't watched it. Don't know any of these. Closer to the Edge. Oh, fun. The Killing Fields. Yeah, I remember that being quite tough to watch. Last of the Mohicans, not really a war movie. Come and See, I heard here is good, but like scarring. Zulu is good in its own way. Don't know that. Heard of this. Iwo Jima, overrated in my opinion. Great Escape is just like a fun romp. It's not... I wasn't a fan of Inglourious Bastards. Restrepo, I've heard is good. I'll put that on my letterboxd. What is it called? Closer to the Edge. Should be on here, surely. Oh, I need to log in, but I'll leave that open. Lincoln, not a war movie. Saving Private Ryan, one of the most overrated pieces of like, if once you've watched the first 10 minutes, one of the most overrated pieces of garbage you'll ever come across. Three Kings, really fun, like war comedy type thing. Imitation Game, overrated. Don't know that. Patton, just Patton is just a great individual performance by George C. Scott. Let's apply frequency on its own. Like, what the hell is even going on here? Let's do a stock run. Mage Dundee, haven't watched. Pianist, again, that's drama set in war. You know, that's different. Deer Hunter, one of the greatest. If you haven't watched it, another 3-hour movie, The Deer Hunter, one of the greatest movies of all time. And it also happens to be, it's sort of on the edge. It's not really about war, but it happens to be like a movie set in war as well. Full Metal Jacket, amazing. Bridge Over the River Kwai, well, it's a classic. Stalag 17, I've heard is good. Das Boot, there we go. Paths of Glory, I still need to watch. I'm usually a Kubrick fan, but just it's one of those ones that I haven't watched. Eye in the Sky. Should watch that. Schindler's List. Again, not necessarily a war movie, but if you're going to count it as a war movie, one of the greatest movies of all time. Shoah is like this massive documentary about the concentration camps. Again, not a war movie. Zero Dark 30. I don't know why anyone would watch that. It's about something that happened so recently that I don't really see the value as such of dramatizing it. Iran, I haven't watched. I've heard good things. Henry V, no idea. Spartacus, great movie. A Man Escaped, Robert Bresson. Yes, it's great. Apocalypse Now, solid but overrated. Hurt Locker, solid but overrated. Lawrence of Arabia, one of the greatest movies of all time. Doctor Strangelove, I couldn't get into the humor there. Okay, so we have a pass. Oh, there's 24 loops in 4M. Okay, but it's gonna pass. So let's literally just apply our settings and maybe do like a 3G on the CPU. Amigo Shadows, again, like a 3-hour movie. It's about the French resistance. It's so highly rated by lots of people. I expected a bit more from it. Dunkirk, it's just an action movie. It's got no characters in it, but you know, at this point, Christopher Nolan is kind of known for making movies without characters, just like Tenet. So it's his thing. All Quiet on the Western Front, I've heard, is a great book and great movie as well. Battle of Algiers, heard good things about. Grand Illusion, same thing. If you're going to count Casablanca, arguably the best war movie of all time, but it's mostly people standing around in a bar talking. So for me, a war movie has to have actual war in it. It just can't just be set in a war. It's got to have, the war has to sort of play a part as well. Let's do like a 16 fit or something. Yeah, 3.5. Is it going to be another slow run? Yes. Should be faster than that. If it's 1.8, it's like 1.3 for a fast run, then just because I'm down clocking from 3.8 to 3.5 shouldn't mean it's a 4-second run. There we go, 1.4. I think that's gonna be it. Let's just go back to the list one more time. So the stuff that I've only done, come on browser, you're drunk. The stuff, I mean, I don't really have a working Threadripper platform anymore. I don't have 3000 series chips anymore or APUs anymore. I should go Intel side. So Still thinking about it, but I feel like 11:56. But my Gulfdale is coming as well. So if my Gulfdale arrive, I have a locked Gulfdale i7 970 coming, which is quite a rare chip. So I might do that, or I might do Ivy, and then the outside chance will be LJ 1156. So at least another month of lockdown coming. So every Friday night, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, or just check my Twitch schedule. That should convert it to your time zone. Thanks all for watching. It's been a bit weird, but I had a couple of beers and had a good chat. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, and talk to you next week.